Hey guys, Jedi270 here. Check this out. I did a video on the GHK King Arms M4 with a gas conversion kit to a Gbbr a while back, and a lot of times I don't get to look at the comments per se. They do come in my email, but I get so much email that it's hard for me to ascertain what's what. So a lot of times I'll just peruse it and then move it on out. So I'm reading these comments on the gas efficiency test, and if you guys have watched my videos, a lot of guys are starting to do those gas efficiency tests now because it works. And when you fill these gas mags up and then you shoot them on dry fire on semi-automatic and count how many rounds you can get fired out of this gas mag on one single charge, that's a pretty accurate gas efficiency test. Well, this guy comes on there. I'm not going to badmouth him, and I'm not going to call him out. But if you go look at my video, you'll see exactly who I'm talking about. A lot of people give out the wrong information. And when I say wrong information, I mean blatant wrong information. And if they sound like they know what they're talking about, people get misled. So let's get this ironed out. His comment was that my video was bunk because you cannot do a proper gas efficiency test without BBs being fired. First of all, BBs don't mean jack to your gas efficiency. The BB comes and loads out here in this port, correct? Here's your gas release valve. The three things rather, that decide what your gas efficiency is going to be is the weight of your hammer spring, how hard that hammer impacts this valve, how long this valve stays open, the strength of this spring, and the spring of your rocket valve inside. So the longer this valve stays open, the more gas is expelled behind your shot, pushing it down the barrel. The lighter your hammer spring, the less gas is released. This will also lower your FPS as well as a few other things. You can also dumb it down to a point where it won't even fire, or the BB won't even come out of the mag. The only thing the BB does is once this gas is released the same on every single shot, it puts the gas through the gas route bucking behind the BB, pushing it down the barrel. Now granted, if you've got a 0.20 gram BB, which is the lightest that anybody would really want to use with the Gbbr, then that amount of gas that's released is going to push that BB out to a certain FPS and a certain maximum effective range. Then if you put a 0.25 or a 0.30, and as you step up in weights, the same amount of gas is being released each time. So the only thing that's going to be affected as far as BBs goes is your maximum effective range and quite possibly a little bit of an FPS decrease. That's it. So when you put this magazine in the gun, you put 0.25s. This magazine doesn't say calculating 0.20, release so many milligrams of gas per shot. It's not that smart, okay? Only thing that your gas efficiency relies on is 1, how big your reservoir in your mag is, 2, how good your seals are, 3, how strong your hammer spring is, how hard it impacts the release valve, how long the valve stays open, and how much gas is released each time that cycle happens. That's the only thing. So, yeah. When you're doing a gas efficiency test, you do not need BBs, and for Christ's sake, please, don't listen to these people. When you read their comments or you watch that video and you see these things that they're saying, sit down and think for yourself. What could that BB possibly have to do with how much gas is being released from this valve when this valve has no contact whatsoever with this BB? The gas is released here, it comes out here, pushes down the barrel. This doesn't have jack to do with anything other than your maximum effective range. You're getting the same amount of gas each time. So with that said, in my opinion, if you want to increase your gas efficiency, make sure you've got some really good seals. Make sure you keep your maintenance up on your gas mags. You may want to modify your hammer spring to a heavier hammer spring where that hammer moves faster, strikes harder, and depresses that valve more. And then you may want to look into weakening your spring a little bit inside your rocket valve, allowing that valve to stay open. So if you do that, then you're obviously getting more gas, you're going to up your FPS, and possibly your maximum effective range. If you want to have a gas efficient mag, then you want to make sure that you have a weak enough hammer spring to where it's weak enough to where it affects and hits this and opens it up for the proper amount of time. You want to make sure that your rocket valve spring inside is weak enough to where it just stays open for a little while, and that way you can control your flow of gas from here to behind your ammo going down the range. But that's basically it. It's that simple. So anybody that comments on my channel with all this garbage about BBs are going to affect your gas efficiency, from now on I'm just going to delete it because I don't have time for it. You know, I try to be a nice guy and give everybody their say, but it just gets to a point where it's ridiculous. So sit down and think about it. You know, all I'm saying is don't even take my word for it solely. Think about it for yourself and see what you come up with. This is the Jedi 270, and I appreciate you watching. Have a nice day.